If you run your own business, then you know that sometimes you feel like you've lost your North Star. You start to second guess yourself. Every rejection, even someone unsubscribing from your email list or some random person leaving you a bad review on Udemy or YouTube, feels like a punch in the gut. Just one more signal that you're failing. Suddenly, it seems like everything you're doing is wrong. Your product is rubbish. Why would anyone want to buy it? You've totally missed the mark on your social media or marketing. No wonder no one's responding to your offers. Basically, you're just kidding yourself doing this business. It's time to face facts, to fold up your tent and go home. If you're listening to this and can relate, leave me a comment and share your I give up moment. Usually, it's not you or your product. It's simply that business has its ups and downs. You don't need a new plan. You probably just need some mentoring, someone to help you get back on track and jumpstart your mojo. Kenz Soliman is the business bestie, the mentor, the friend, and North Star that so many of us have been looking for. She's had the courage to take risks, the tenacity to power through the tough times, the creativity to continually innovate and develop new products, and the humility to be one of the most generous and down-to-earth people you'd ever hope to meet. Yes, I'm a big fangirl. Kenz has built a massively successful business that includes over 50 best-selling courses on Udemy with nearly 140,000 students, a co-working group, a collaboration platform where she teams up with other entrepreneurs to develop new courses. Oh, and she's just published her first book. And as you might have already guessed, it's a must-read, like must-read now. I'll be putting a link to it in the show notes, and definitely check it out. I'm Jane Singer, and thank you for joining me here on Launch to Legendary. This podcast is where we get to meet people who have taken the ordinary and turned it into the extraordinary. People who found opportunities in even the most challenging circumstances and who've been able to define success in their own terms. It's truly fitting that we kick off this season with the indomitable Kenz Soliman. Both her story and her accomplishment are truly legendary. So let's get right to it and take the opportunity to learn from her and to start creating our own legends. Yeah, Kenz, I am really thrilled to have you here on the podcast. I mean, I'm a huge fangirl, as you know, of what you're doing. I know a little bit about your journey. I'm excited to hear more about your journey. I think that everybody listening to this is going to be awed and inspired by what you've done, what you've achieved.
Thank you so much, Jane. That's like, I don't even know how to explain how excited I am for being on the podcast. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, it's a total pleasure. Now, perhaps you can start by just giving us a little background. I mean, right now, you're a superstar on Udemy. You have courses that you've created there. You have other workshops that you've done. I participated in several of them. They're off the charts excellent. You have digital products that you've done, also really good. I have purchased some of them, so I'm not just I'm not just making this stuff up for the sake of the podcast. As you know, I have, been part of a lot of what you've done, or not a lot, but, some of what you've done, and it is really world class. So perhaps you can just give us a little bit of background, how you got started and, somewhat of what the journey was like.
Okay, first, let me just say how grateful I am to have you as part of my world. Thank you so much for joining the courses and all the great feedback you have about them. I really appreciate that. When it comes to talking about my story, sometimes I really don't know where to start. So let's start where everything on Udemy started back in 2015. So I've been in the online space since 2011, and I was still getting started. I was a new mom, and I wanted to do something from home that would allow me that freedom to spend my time with my child. And I started learning about social media and how I can do social media management for local businesses here in Egypt. And I got started, and I actually I evolved very quickly. So I was offering my work for very, very cheap, and I did too much work for too little money. And that got me fully booked very fast. And then I had some of my clients who wanted to work with me again, and they were like, okay, until you have a new opening, could you just record a video for me on what do I do until you're able to come back and take control of my page? And I was like, okay, maybe I can do that. So when I tried it for the first time, it was actually kind of fun. And then I was like, okay, I really love teaching things to people. So that's interesting. Let's like leave it in there. Then 4 years later, I was like totally burnt out, totally depressed, and feeling like I'm getting nowhere and that the work I'm doing right now is just soul sucking of some sort. I was not happy. And I wanted to do something more. And for my entire life, Jane, I always knew that I was meant for more. I always had this feeling inside me that I want to do something big. I want to inspire the world. Like, I want to do something, that vibe. Like, I know there's a voice in me that I really want to help and inspire people in a way. But as someone who has been labeled as not enough their entire life, it was very, very scary for me to do something like that. But then I was taking some courses on Udemy to learn how to be a better social media manager. That's what I was doing back then. And there was always this button that says become an instructor that was kind of like looking at me, when you feel something is staring at you, it's like, try, just give it a try. So I thought like maybe I could teach something. Like my English is good-ish. And I can actually like
good. Yeah.
Thank you. And I could teach because I tested that with my clients and they enjoyed the videos I created for them. So I decided after a lot of thought and a lot of fear, because I was like, who would want to learn from a housewife halfway around the world in Egypt whose English is not her first language and knows too little about everything? Who's going to leave all the incredible people out there and just buy from me? But then I was like, okay, we know that we can bet on ourselves and try. If things go well, then fine, I'll just continue doing it. And if things don't go well, I'll go back to wherever I came from and just hide and no one will notice a thing. So I took a chance on myself and I decided to become an instructor on Udemy. And like the minimum requirement for a course was 30 minutes of video. So I created a 35-minute video on the power of hashtags. I have published that thing later on, but it was very rushed and very quickly put together just to see where it could take me. And the person who I learned from, like how to create courses for Udemy and how to do Udemy thing, he back then gave us an advice to offer our course for 1,000 people for free when the course goes live, so we get some momentum. And I was like, yeah, 1,000 people, that's easy. Like if 100 people sign up for my course, I'll like throw a party or something. And to my surprise, when the course got approved and I posted that free coupon, my phone didn't stop dinging for 27 hours until I got those 1,000 people. Yeah, I was like, I went mental. I cried. I laughed. I did so many happy dances, and I was like, are those people real? Like, are the notifications that are coming in right now? Like, right. Do they really know that they're taking a course from me? It was full of emotions, but I'm very grateful for taking a chance on myself that day because fast forward today, I have over 115,000 students on my courses. Created and incredible. So many, yeah. Like, I still don't believe it. I honestly cannot get over the feeling that I get every time I share that story and tell someone, like, hey, I teach over 115,000 people. I'm like, do I? Is it really happening? I cannot get over that feeling. But yeah, it all started with me taking a chance on myself and just seeing where it's going to take me, basically.
Yeah, I think that is, there's so much around that. And I think that, when I've seen what you've done and what you've achieved, and you not only took a chance on yourself, which already is massive, right? Because so few people are actually even willing to do that. They're not even willing to try. And I'm guilty of that too in certain things that I've been sort of, kicking down the road for years. If you look at my Google Drive and you see the date on certain things, I'm like, oh my gosh, Shane, like seriously, it's been that long and like nothing's been done on that. But it's not just the trying, it's the fact that you persevere, because going from somebody who launched a course, a small course, like you said, and was able to get a lot of people signed up initially for free, which is really good. But now you've built so many more courses and now you've built a lot of other platforms. So you've actually stuck with it through the good times, through the bad times. Can you share a little bit about what that's been like?
We're going to take a quick break now, and then we'll be right back.
We were hiring when we were making 50 to 100K monthly losses.
And why? Welcome to episode 1.
I can't think of a single founder who's been around for a decent amount of time in business who hasn't had their tunnel of year. This was that year. We're going to be okay, yeah, Sheree? Some are going to hear this and think, you TDP. But hear me out. You only have to do the math to understand that very soon we were $500,000 down.
Okay, so like when I say it's from 1,000, the first 1,000 students to 115,000, it sounds all like nice and fluffy, but there has been some challenges. Like, I think the biggest thing that we always doubt ourselves and doubt our potential, and we tend to like somewhat sabotage the results that we get if we don't do the mindset work. So what I did is, when that first course got that momentum, I was like, okay, let's continue doing that. But at the beginning, like before deciding to continue to do courses, I still doubted that those people joined my course just because it was on a free coupon. And they were like, just trying it, just trying to see what that free course is all about. Then when the reviews started coming in, that what gave me like kind of a confidence boost that this is going to work, because all of the reviews I got for that course back then was 4 and 5 stars out of 5 stars. So 4 out of 5 and 5 out of 5 is like, I was like, I didn't believe it. I was like, seriously? So this is actually working? This has been the theme for me, where I would achieve something and be so happy with it. And then all the doubt would cripple in and make me feel like, no, maybe it's just happening out of luck. Maybe it's just sheer beginner luck, nothing else. Then I decided to put together a plan to keep creating as many courses as I can. And I did make a few mistakes along the way. Like, I wanted to build a brand and have a decent looking business, not just the Udemy courses. And this is where things were like a roller coaster. I didn't know that much about branding or what exactly that I need to have on my website. I did try taking courses and putting together, duct taping together things from here and there, DIYing everything. And I built multiple brand names, created so many content, then burnt it all to the ground to start over. I'm really big on fresh starts. I love me a fresh start. Yeah. And I'm one of those people when it's 11:59 at December 31st, that next minute is going to make me a complete new human and I have new chances and everything. So my addiction to new starts actually did hurt me from time to time. Whereas I was, there was this era where everyone was chasing doing private launches on your own, having your own email list, putting together a funnel. And back then I was not ready for that. And I had my platform and my audience on a different space. So what I did is I dropped what I was doing with Udemy, and I was like, you know what? I'm tired of giving away all of those free coupons. I'm not going to do this again. I'm going to go and chase what everyone else is chasing, because that seems a lot more fun and people are making a lot more money from it and stuff like that. And after a while, it took me it took longer than it usually takes for Udemy. So when I tried that route, it didn't work out for me. It didn't get me the results I was looking for. And I realized that the people that were promoting these types of things have been doing this for years. They already have the audience. They already have the subscribers. And I didn't have that. I didn't have an email list back then. So I was like, you know what? Now we know. We dropped something that's working for something that we're not that sure about. So let's go back to what we're good at doing and work on improving that. So I kept trying to brainstorm more ideas for more courses. And back then, I was very into internet marketing and software. You know me, I'm very geeky with my tools. Yeah. So I used to buy white label software, create a course about that white label tool, and then give it as a bonus to people who joined the course. And that worked really well for a while until it didn't. And those tools stopped working. And with them, my courses started getting unpublished because the entire course was about a tool. Right. And the tool is not working, so the course is just nothing now. Yes. Yeah. This was one of the things that taught me to not base my courses on certain tools. Instead, think of the principles and basics and teach those in a way that could be as timeless as possible. So whatever the tool that people are using you still have the core content that teaches people how to make the most out of those courses.
Right.
And the more I created, the more confidence I got. It's like they're moving together upwards. Every time I create a new course, I feel more confident and I feel like it's going to be easier next time and easier next time and easier next time. So I created over 100 courses in 2 languages, but for Udemy, I think the number is like 70. There are 52 published right now. And yeah, learning from that experience of like publishing and unpublishing, I can talk about this for hours, Jane. So many lessons and so many changes. But the biggest thing I realized is when you're creating an online course to help people and you're starting like a course business, you're actually growing a lot in the process and you're working on you without even knowing. Because if it wasn't for those courses that I created, I don't think I'd ever have the same level of confidence that I have now in my abilities and in the way I do things. I would still sabotage myself. I still do. Like from time to time, I still do things that I'm like, seriously, what are you doing to yourself? But it's different now. Like the way I think about things is different. And yeah, I couldn't be more grateful for everything, honestly.
Yeah, it's interesting that you frame it like that because it is a long journey for just about anything. I mean, everybody wants results overnight, me too. You know, the minimum amount of work, the maximum amount of results, fast as possible. But as we all know in reality, no matter what sector you're in, no matter what day and age, it takes a long time. It takes a lot of grit to be able to hang in there. So I think it's great that you bring that up. And the fact that over the course of the journey, you're learning, right? And you're evolving.
Yeah.
And other pathways are opening up for you that you hadn't thought about, or that you tried something and that looked good, right? As we often do, we think, oh my gosh, this is the better way to go, until you go that way and you're like, oh my gosh, wow, actually, no, it's not so good. It's, you know, there's a lot of things I didn't realize until I actually got my hands in the clay. So I know it's good that you were willing to experiment with things and sort of, I think in the end, unless I'm misinterpreting what you've done, is you've sort of tried a lot of things, and out of that, you've crafted your own business and your own services.
Yeah, absolutely. Like every time I would test something new that is like, ooh, shiny, I really want to know what this is all about. I really want to try that. And every time I did that, it actually taught me that, hey, what you're doing and what you love doing is actually working for you. So stick to that. Go back to that. So I had this like, those courses were like my base.
Right.
So every time I tried to get out of that, like, and try something new, it's like, no, get back to that because this is good and you're doing really well in it and you don't need something else to distract you. But as a person who have multiple passions, I know sometimes it's like very lucrative to try that new thing and this new thing and that new thing. So now I have this like system that I set up for myself, which is do the essential work that you know this is what you do, the courses. And then if you want to try other things, do it when you have the time and energy for it and don't expect much from it. Just do it out of fun and see if it could get you somewhere. But don't leave what's working for something that is new and you're not 100% sure about. That was like, it took a lot of mindset work around that in order to be able to do it. And for the resilience part, I actually like, the reason why I persisted like that is because, again, to me, from day one, this was taking a chance on myself because I wanted to offer myself that feeling, that thing that I didn't get growing up. I really wanted to be the person who believed in their abilities and believed in themselves and was willing to take a chance on me because it's very difficult when you are being raised in a different environment and when you have been taught like a lot of false things about yourself and you thought they're going to be true and they're not true. Like I struggled with that a lot. And thanks to my courses, I was actually able to talk about my journey with people pleasing. I got the chance to do a TEDx talk, Jane. Like,
wow. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really something that very, very few people have been able to achieve because everyone would dream of doing a TEDx talk, but how many people actually are able to realize that?
Yeah, I consider myself very lucky, actually, to be able to get that because of my work and because of those courses. To me, again, it's all like you took a chance on yourself, and look what's happening.
Yeah, I think that, it seems like a simple lesson, so to speak. She took a chance on herself. But then again, how many of us do that? And how many of us who are experienced people, not just people who are just getting out of school, even don't take a chance on things for a myriad of reasons that hold us back, whether it's imposter syndrome, or we don't think we have the time to do it, or we don't think we have the ability to do it, or whatever the case may be. But I think so many of us are sitting on something that if we only just, hit the play button, so to speak.
Yeah. And like right now, I can see that clearly, but I didn't believe that back then when I started, is we think that the entire world around us is paying super close attention to everything we do. And it's not. So if you have an idea inside you that you really want to take a chance on, the odds are you're thinking that the entire world is going to know if you quote unquote fail. I don't believe in failure. I think it's just a way for us to teach us to try again. I don't believe in failure. But like, seriously, the world is not watching as close as you think. So if you make a mistake, almost no one will know, because no one can get inside your brain and see the plan that you had in the first place. So that's a plus. No one can get inside your brain. And also, like, I realized the more I show up as who I am and the more myself I'm becoming, the less I felt as an imposter, because I did have imposter syndrome. Like, I was like, seriously, you're teaching all of those people and you're speaking their language, and it's not even your first language, and you're learning things and implementing them and teaching them what results you got and how you did things. But at the end of the day, you're not them. You're from a different culture. You have different beliefs. And these people are just going to see you as an outsider. I had this outsider syndrome for a very long time, where I felt my audience is never going to relate to me because I live in a different space. I live in a different culture. I look different. And then I actually realized that because I live in a different place and because I look different and because instead of feeling like I'm an imposter, I started thinking that I'm inspiring them. I'm showing them that it's possible for them. And the more I try to think of it all as a way to have fun and a way to trust myself more and show who I really am more, the more I'm inspiring people around me to do the same. Like, when you do something, other people don't see you as an imposter. Other people see you as a possibility. That if it's possible for you, it's possible for them. And since I started looking at it that way, I'm having a ton of fun. I'm enjoying what I do right now way more than I did before. I am less in my head and less overthinking about everything. Like right now, I get an idea, I could be taking action on it the same night if I have the time. And I'm like, let's see. It's fun to try. Let's see where it takes us.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And it took me a long time to get to that headspace. And I can't even say I'm there all the time, but at least part of the time. And that is to just have fun with something and not worry about it. And I totally agree with you. Too many people are held back by worrying about what other people think. And when you sit down with somebody and you say to them, they're telling you, well, Jane, I can't do that. What would people think? And then you say, well, who are these people? Name them. Name who you think is thinking about you. Don't just say other people, because I grew up with that as well. Well, what will people think? Well,
that's a really good question.
It's like, name those people who you think are thinking about you. Do you think it's the next door neighbor? Do you think oh, no, they don't even know me. Okay, so the next door neighbor, the guy that was on the bus this morning, oh, he's thinking about you. That guy? You know what I mean? Oh my God. That person who you passed on the street who you don't know and was walking their dog and was more concerned about their dog, that person's thinking about you and like the course you're teaching or the newsletter you're putting out. Oh, no. And then when you go through it, you sort of take it to the ridiculous. And suddenly people, actually, nobody's thinking about me.
This is actually genius, Jane. I love that question because it's like thought pattern interrupting.
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, name those people, and people are gonna be like, what? Do you really want me to name the people? Okay, let's try to find the name, and then they don't find any. I love that. I really love that.
Yeah, I mean, I sometimes have to take myself through that exercise. And I just say to myself, what are you, you're all up in your head about stupid stuff. And yeah, there's always going to be people who hate what you do. And it's like, if you have time to really think about what I do that much and work up a lot of hate over it, like, am I concerned? No, because people who actually matter are busy doing their own thing.
Absolutely. And yeah, like when you say some people are gonna hate what I do, I can totally relate on that, because with that many students in the courses, don't you think that all of my reviews are 5 stars and 4 stars? No. I have some really, like, I had people who give me half a star as a review.
Oh my gosh.
And didn't even write a single word. And there were others that had a very wordy review with half a star or 1 star about things. And I was like, seriously? Like, thank you for the feedback. I appreciate it. I'll take what I can improve. But sometimes it's not something that I can improve. It's just that those people didn't relate to what I was teaching, and that's fine. But at the beginning, when I used to get a bad review, I would cry big time, and I would think, oh my God, I'm failing. People don't love what I do. And it's fine to have those feelings. Like, I learned that it's okay with time. But I also learned that when people decide that, that's not the end of the world. I'm not going to be anyone's cup of tea. Like, it's totally fine. There will be people, because I had that. I had, like, for the same course, in the same week, I would have one person give me a 5-star review with a mile-long comment of how incredible the course is and how much they enjoyed it. And then 3 reviews after, there comes a person with a half-star rating or a half-star review thinking that the course was a waste of their time. That's fine, because people come to courses with different expectations, and I can never satisfy every person's expectation of the course. As much as I try, and as much as I try to, like, tweak my copy, make sure it's, like, clear what exactly are they going to learn from that course, sometimes it's just not gonna happen. And there were haters on the way. Like, I remember vividly that one person who got one of my courses with a free coupon, and then logged into the course and watched only 2 lessons out of 6, I think, or 7. And then they went, instead of going just for the public reviews, they went into the Q&A section where all the students hang out.
Right.
They were like, that was a complete waste of my time. Your English is horrible. The way you're teaching is horrible. And even Helen Keller herself would have done a better job creating that course than you. And I was like, I'm trying to make sense of this. Thank you. Looks like someone needs a hug.
Right.
I really appreciate that. Because I learned along the way that when someone does that, mostly the angry energy is not about you. It's a reflection to how they're feeling. Maybe they're going through something else, and it's just you happen to be in the wrong time, wrong place. Exactly. And that there's a difference between a bad review just with those, like, negative energies, and between a review that has, like, something that you can take to tweak your work. There's a difference between bad reviews and, like, what do they call it? Like, constructive criticism.
Yeah, constructive criticism. And I think you're absolutely right to be able to differentiate. It's very hard. I mean, no one can appreciate that until they have sat in that seat. And as someone who's been doing a lot of different things like this over the years myself, people don't understand what goes into even the free stuff that you do. I mean, someone comes up to me and tells me they like the free newsletter that we're putting out, and we do 2 different ones, a week. I'm like over the moon. And that's just a free newsletter. It's free. Whether they like it or don't like it isn't going to drive revenue one way or another. But you're over the moon when somebody says, oh, I get your newsletter and I love it. And you're just thinking to yourself, oh my gosh, right? Or someone listens to the podcast, again, something that they can access for free. But you're still really, it's very gratifying. And like you said, it also, it hurts a lot more than people think when you get these random, I don't know what you would call
random comments.
Yeah, we're just someone throwing hate at you, like you said, because they're having a bad day and you happen to have crossed their path.
Yeah, like, you never know what people are going through, which is fine, because we all, like, go through these things. But these things have taught me to be like more mentally strong with everything that I do, and to be more open that it's okay if people don't like my work. It's not the end of the world, because out of those millions and millions of people out there, there are my people who appreciate what I do. And my mission is to find more of my people to get in front of, instead of making it my mission to try to fit everyone's expectation and check everyone's boxes, even if that's not me. If it wasn't for the experience of doing the courses and seeing all those people and getting all of that to happen, I wouldn't be learning that. So to me, it's not the part of the journey where it's all like the success and the numbers and the students. It's the growth that happens and like that happened and still going to happen along the way. I am an overthinker. I get inside my head a lot. And like, I hear you, Jane, when you're looking at your data and you're thinking, come on, we need to get that out there. I'm like that too. And the thing that helps me with that is I keep thinking of all the good things that happened when I put an idea out there or a piece of content out there. I only think of like the good comments I hear from people, like when someone says that they love your free newsletter, and that feeling, that never gets old. Even if it's a free thing, you still feel that. Yeah. And because of that feeling, you're like inspired to do more.
Yeah, exactly right. It's interesting, right? It's really strange.
Yeah.
I think you only feel inspired to do more or to take it to the next level when it's something you've actually sold. But surprisingly, even if it's good feedback on all the free stuff that I do, is actually really not only, like you say, meaningful, it's inspiring.
Yes, it absolutely is. Plus, we tend to take things for granted, but I remember when I was a child in the 90s, we didn't have all that technology. I didn't think that I'm going to grow up to have an international business where I can record my courses in my pajamas and actually get paid for doing things that I love and enjoy. And I didn't even know that I'm going to learn all these things after college. Like, I learned everything online.
Right.
So I graduated as an accountant, believe it or not. I was in the Faculty of Commerce and I have a bachelor's degree in accounting. And I just wanted to work in a bank. That was like my biggest dream, to be a banker. I didn't even think, it didn't cross my mind that one day I'll have an international business that I run from my home, like having the best time ever with my son and husband. So we take these things for granted. I totally invite you. Every time you feel overwhelmed about everything, get into newbie vibes. Put on your newbie hat again and think, like, go back to your teenage self and think, if your 13-year-old self would see your life right now, what would they say?
Right. That's a good way to
I guarantee you're going to, I guarantee you're going to feel a lot better. To me, it's always that 13 goes 30 vibe. You know that movie? I love that so much. It's like that. We have a business and it's serving all those people. Okay, we need to get out of our own way and like continue doing what we're doing.
Yes, exactly. Now, speaking of that, tell me a little bit about what you're doing now. I know that you still have the Udemy courses. They're going strong, but you've evolved and expanded and you have a lot of new and exciting things. Can you talk about that a bit?
Yeah, absolutely. So other than the Udemy courses, I have something incredible called the Collab Club, where I come together with my favorite people, my clients, and we co-create courses together instead of us creating courses on our own. We come together and collaborate on courses and publish those courses on Udemy, and it's a lot of fun. It was actually a crazy idea that I had back in May 2022, and we started in June 2022, and by December 31st, 2022, we co-created 32 online courses and published them. Yeah, and some of the club members went from 0 audience to over 10,000 students in their courses.
Excellent.
And yeah, it's it's my biggest thing so far, and I'm so excited to actually build something like that and have a space like that on the internet. We're also like, you know me, I'm multi-passionate. I try to take action on most of my ideas. So right now we have the Collab Club, and then I'm working on my magazine that's going to be published in May 2023. And we did our first collaboration audiobook. We, again, when we tried co-creating courses together and it worked so well, I was like, how about an audiobook? Because I wanted to be an author.
Right.
And I struggled so much to try to write my book because I can express myself more in talking than writing. So I was like, I'll do it in audio format because this is how it's easier for me to express that. And maybe later on down the road, I will have it transcribed and formatted to be a written book too. But I chose what's easier for me. So I did my first audiobook draft and I sent it to a few people, my clients, and I was like, hey, do you want to do a collab audiobook together? Let's start a new club. Instead of just having the course club, we would have another one for the audiobooks and we co-author audiobooks together. We already had our first one last month. It's called Dear Tired Entrepreneur. And we have another one we're working on right now. It goes live also in May. So the magazine, the collab club, and the audiobook club are the thing that I'm focused on right now. But there's another passion project coming through, and I am working on my first printable stationery line. I'm going to create my own printable planners, notebooks, because you know how much I love my planners and my highlighters and stationery. So
Yes,
I decided decided to do some print on demand products to just share that as a side thing, side passion. But I'm so excited for it because my plan is to actually get it up before my next birthday. So that's a list 30 days from now. And I'm very, very excited for it.
Wow, that's really, that's a tremendous amount that you're doing. And, I love the way you think about these things, it's sort of looking at it from a different way, right? The idea of collaboration, which most people don't think about, right? We tend to either think about doing it ourselves, or if you have a company, of course, you have staff, but it's very rare that people actually think about the collaboratory side of things and what you can achieve. So I think that's a really interesting way to look at it. And I'm definitely excited about your stationery line because I know that everything you do is very colorful and very exciting looking, and I think it's going to be awesome.
Thank you. I think with the collaboration part, the reason people the reason people don't do collaborations as much is because they're there's this fear around being with other people and being seen with other people. And the more you work on your thoughts that it's safe to do things with other people and that it's safe to show up that way and it's safe to have new friends that you can collaborate on projects together, the easier it's going to be for you. When I was creating courses before, I was enjoying doing it while level, mentally. I was ready to do things with other people. So it needs some preparation and it's scary in the beginning. I totally agree with that. But once you try it with the right people that you actually vibe with, it gets to be a ton of fun.
Yes.
I never thought when I was putting together, I was in my head too much, Jane, when I was putting together that collab club for the first time. I was scared that it's not going to get the results I want for it. I was scared that people are going to hate it. I was scared that people are actually not going to feel connected to each other. And to my surprise, it was the complete opposite. People have a lot in common than they think. I didn't know that most of my people love the same things I do outside of the business things. When I talk about my addiction to Disney, for example, or to stationery or to color, I see a lot of nods and a lot of smiles and people are like, yeah, I love that type too. Yeah, I am crazy about my stationery too. Stuff like that. And you will never know that until you try to just try. Try to be okay with just testing how it would feel to collaborate with something else. Because it is scary, but it's very rewarding when you take a chance on it.
Yeah, I think that's really true. And I think you're right. You have to try. And as long as you've sort of put a floor under the downside, right? And figured out what's the worst that can happen. And for most people, believe it or not, the worst that can happen is they feel embarrassed. For me, I think the worst that can happen is you don't want to lose a lot of money on something, right? You don't want to throw a lot of money into something and find out you've lost all that. But I think for most people, the biggest fear is feeling embarrassed or ashamed that it didn't work out. So you're right. You just try and you just say, okay, well, if it doesn't work, I'm good.
Yeah, absolutely. And even with the feeling embarrassed thing, I think that, how do I describe that? when you're in the right space and when it's a safe space, even if you do something that you feel is going to embarrass you, the support around you makes it way less painful.
Yes, that's
Way
true.
less embarrassing. So I never thought I would show up on a Zoom call wearing my Disney ears. That's like, so when I hopped on the first call with my clients and we were all like laughing and sharing, and I told them, yeah, wait until you see me in my Disney ears. They were like, yeah, I would love to see that. Maybe you could wear it next time. And I did. And I remember like, I'm not sure. Yeah, it was the celebration of our very first collab course going live and getting the first 1,000 students. We did a little Zoom party and we all wore tiaras on the
Wow.
And I was like, yeah, that's not embarrassing. That's actually fun.
Exactly.
So it's all about choosing what role you want to be a part of. If it's a collaboration, you get to choose who you want to work with. So when you do that, choose the people who you vibe with, who you feel less as a stranger with, and who you and them like have a lot in common. Have a 15-minute conversation with someone and see if you both vibe together, then yeah, collaborate together. If not, thank you so much. We had a really good time and I'll see you on the next one. And that's it.
Yeah, I think that's a really good way to look at it. And you're right. You just can test the waters, see how it goes, give it a try. If it doesn't work, you just move on to the next thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, Kenz, how can people connect with you? Where can people find you?
There's my website, herdigitalbusiness.com.
Okay.
And all the social media handles are at herdigitalbusiness.com. That's Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and my YouTube channel.
Okay, perfect. Well, I'm going to make sure all of that is in the show notes. I know a lot of people will want to follow you on one or more of those channels, and I hope people will take the opportunity to check out some of your courses. They really are excellent. I mean, I have, like I said, taken several of them, not just the Udemy ones, but some of the ones you do off that platform, and I have found them to be of massive value. So I would really encourage anybody listening. Yeah, I would encourage anyone listening to this to at least take a look.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And it's really a blessing to have you as part of my world. And it's an honor to be here, honestly.
Oh, well, thank you, Kenz. I feel the same. Thanks again.
Thank you.